Hey kids, Tito James here. Thank you once again for joining us as we take awesome out of the box. This is the Huawei Mate 40 Pro. Now you've seen this phone before and you know that when it comes to taking photos on a smartphone, this is one of the best around. But in this video, we're not going to be concentrating on the photo side of things, though I'll still probably show you a couple of samples along the way. We're going to be talking about the video shooting capabilities of Huawei's latest flagship because it has some interesting features that I think will help you get some killer content. Let's get into it by first giving you a recap of the key specs of the Mate 40 Pro in relation to its cameras. Now, if you know about this phone already, feel free to skip. There should be chapters down below. But if you want to support the channel, watch on and toss us a thumbs up while you're at it. So on the back, you've got their very recognizable space ring design that's supposed to resemble a photo of a black hole. Very subjective, but what's important is what's inside that circular camera array. You have a 50 megapixel ultra vision camera, that's the main shooter with an aperture of f1.9. There's the 20 megapixel cine camera, which is their ultra wide, but as the name suggests, it's great for video, and it's the lens that the phone uses by default when you switch over from photo to video mode. You've also got a 12 megapixel telephoto camera with up to 5 times optical zoom, 10 times hybrid zoom, and 50 times digital zoom. Now they've also equipped this camera with OIS, so even though you're zoomed in at the maximum, you still get pretty clear images. You're also getting laser autofocus on this device, so we can expect it to lock onto subjects really well, and this also comes into play with some of the video features too. Now, vlogging is becoming a really big thing here in the country, so it's only fair that we talk about the front cameras too. They're housed in that pill-shaped punch hole on the upper left-hand corner of that dramatically curved display, and you're getting a 13 megapixel ultra vision selfie camera at an aperture of f2.4 that works together with a 3D depth sensing camera beside it. So you've got a set of amazing shooters on the Mate 40 Pro, but as we all know, when it comes to Huawei devices, that's only part of the story, with AI playing a major role with helping them getting great results in both photo and video. And this year, that's all made possible by what the company is claiming to be the strongest processor they've made so far, the Kirin 9000, and from what I've been seeing with my time using the Mate 40 Pro, I believe it. Okay, again, the photos on this device are amazing, and if that's more of your jam, you can hop onto Carlos' channel where he does a comparison between the Mate 40 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. We'll be doing our own comparison against the Note 20 Ultra very soon. Stay tuned to the website because that's where we'll be posting it. Getting back on track though, let's talk about taking videos on the Mate 40 Pro, and like I said in the intro, it has all you need to knock out great content. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's try to break things down in 3 simple points, with point number 1 being the video quality is superb. So with the Mate 40 Pro, you can shoot videos in 4K up to 60 FPS. Now I shoot these videos at 1080p 30 because that's just my preference. But I know that a lot of content creators may prefer having that higher frame rate because it does make you feel like you're closer to these people, not just watching them from a screen. But this is my preference, but regardless of that, the Mate 40 Pro has you covered whatever frame rate you want to shoot in. Like I said, the footage looks great, and again, AI plays a huge part in this, but it's relatively smooth too, and what you're seeing on screen is without steady shot turned on, and everything is handheld, so it does do a great job at eliminating those micro jitters from holding the phone. I was actually very surprised that it had some form of stabilization at 4K because usually other phones don't offer that. Now, if you want to get even smoother gimbal-like shots, you can turn on steady shot. This will limit videos to 1080p, but you can really pull off more creative shots with this, and as you can see in this sample footage, it does a great job at eliminating that slight wobble when you're walking around. I mean, there's still a bit because I am shooting this handheld, but in this particular shot, I was also trying to get as low as I could while walking up the steps. So the stability that you're getting on this device is really impressive. Now imagine if I wasn't hand holding the phone and you had it on a gimbal, I'm sure it's gonna be even crazier. Now, one thing that you may have noticed is that the exposure on this phone is pretty good too. I had it in auto all the time, and that's because the Huawei Mate 40 Pro shoots in Always-On HDR, which means it shoots in 3 different exposures and combines it in real time. So for example, in this particular shot, I'm shooting against the light, which you really shouldn't do. Shadows get crushed, but it's still not that bad. Now, if you add a subject into the mix, we have Leia, of course, it gets even better. So while I don't recommend doing this, the results are pretty good. And if you're planning to be more of a run and gun vlogger, this is something that will help you out. By the way, the focus is really good too, but you may have noticed in some shots that we're just walking around, there is a bit of hunting, but once you have a subject, it pretty much stays locked on, glued on, or whatever it is. Basta, it stays in focus. Now on to the second point, the audio. Very important when you're shooting videos, but to prove my point, here's a quick sample of the audio plus the video on the front-facing camera as well.
Hey guys, so this is a quick sample from the front camera of the Huawei Mate 40 Pro. This is also a great test for the microphone since I'm wearing a face shield and a mask. So I'm curious to see if the audio will still be good. Say hi to Leia back there, working away and texting like a maniac. But yeah, so this is a sample of the front camera. Again, if you're a vlogger, this should be looking very well. It looks very stable too. So we'll check back in the studio.
Now, as you saw, the footage from the front-facing camera is still very stable, and definitely if you're a vlogger, you'll want that, but the audio was amazing, and I'm very surprised on how it picked up my voice with the face mask and the face shield. It's a little bit muffled, but the pickup was really fantastic. By the way, I wasn't even projecting to help out the mics on the Mate 40 Pro, and it still did a fantastic job. So if you're shy and not used to talking to the camera just yet, and you're worried about what people may say, don't worry, you'll still get great audio. By the way, again, just a quick tip, if you're a content creator, people are generally more forgiving about video quality, but if your audio is bad, well, that's a different story. So the Mate 40 Pro will definitely help you out. Okay, so we talked about the video quality on this device, the audio. Now let's get to point number 3, all the extra features that will spice up your video. So the first feature I want to talk to you guys about is Story Creator, which is a bunch of templates to help you shoot quick videos, which is very, very helpful. So here's a quick sample of what we've shot with Story Creator. So aside from Story Creator as an amazing tool to help you create some content, there's also dual view mode, and as the name suggests, it uses both the front and back cameras. Here's a quick sample.
Okay guys, as you can see, this is dual view mode, so it's great if you're vlogging and then you want to show off or show that you're talking to someone else. Like I'm talking to Leia. Hi Leia. Hello. Of course, we're doing this in portrait mode because the height difference between us is real. But it's a great way to show off, like if you're vlogging and then you're gonna be showing people the sights, they see you, they see your reaction, and then they see what's going on around you.
Okay, so I've talked about 2 out of 3 of my favorite video features on the Mate 40 Pro so far, but before we move on, here's a couple of ways the Kirin 9000 also flexes its muscle to help you create video content. So first up is AI color, and as you can see in the video, this is a really creative way for you to separate your subject from the background. So here's Leia in a stationary shot, but we also tried to see if this could keep up while we were moving, and for the most part, the Mate 40 Pro could. I mean, it's not perfect, you'll see colors pop up every now and then, but still, that's very impressive. Now there's also background blur if you want something more akin to having that software-assisted bokeh. Really good tracking on this as well, though I'm not sure how this will do on a busy street with more people since we are trying to social distance and keep safe. Just a quick reminder for you guys to do so as well. Of course, there's also slow-mo as well, and it goes from 120 FPS all the way to 3840. Now this will limit you to 720p, and you really need good lighting for this, but again, a good option to have. Okay, so on to the third video feature that I really like on the Mate 40 Pro, which is called Tracking Shot, and I think the name speaks for itself. With this, the Mate 40 Pro will do its best to keep the subject that you select in frame, even though the phone is stationary. So if you do K-pop dance covers and stuff like that, this might be something you want to look into. Again, super cool, and the tracking is fantastic. And actually guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I'm curious to hear what you think about the video shooting capabilities of the Huawei Mate 40 Pro. Now, if you're wondering why the lighting suddenly changed, I actually had to re-record this part of the video because my microphone ran out of battery. So another tip for you budding content creators out there, make sure that everything is charged before recording a video. But anyway, thank you so much for dropping by and spending a few minutes with me. I know I say this all the time, but I appreciate you guys. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, sub to the channel, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can. For all the latest in tech, head to unbox.ph+. Follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. My name is Jamie. Peace. God bless. See you guys next time and stay safe.